You seen him before?
I've seen him before, a long time ago, but I can't remember exactly where.
Yeah,
his name is so ridiculous. It's like,
yeah,
how can you forget that guy?
I think he's only 22 years old or around there, so lots of young bloods now in this Polish side. All of Mice falling back on the ramp as is normal in that position. Guardian trying to hold things down. He's got a nice tap around a locker position, but he will get taken down, left in hell. Now where do they go?
Ocolicious. It's a great name. Nico outside by the garage. Saw lots of Nuke recently, and I was really impressed by how good Ents was in the finals against Astralis, and I hope that a lot of teams are looking towards them because their style of play really lends to a strong Nuke. Either way, Virtus.Pro is sitting on that man advantage, just waiting it out at the moment, seeing if Faze, being in a 3 versus 4, will overstep, and maybe that will be that move because Nico will get taken down for his trouble, and now they're just going to move in, keep the integrity of numbers intact as they go to the lower bomb site. It's down to Neo and Olofmeister.
I like the pacing by VP, just slowing it down, trying to work the rotates. You're on a 4-on-2, but you're still kind of, you know, taking your time, checking every corner. Don't make a mistake. It's pistol. Get the round. Plant the bomb.
It's when I'm looking at this lineup and I see like Neo's name amongst all the other Faze players, it makes more sense to me than seeing Adren's name. Looks like things might be over here very shortly. So Olofmeister creeps through the vents to see what he can do, but he's really got so much to handle here. I don't think he's got enough time, if anything, as he has no kits. It's a pretty labored fight, and there it is. Virtus.Pro will pick up the pistol, and yeah, I think this could be a step in the right direction for me. It's much closer than with Adren, or as good as Adren is. But I do also like that we get legacy type players here. You know, you've got Neo. It's like one of the oldest names in Counter-Strike. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I remember him back in the old day. He was there with everyone else. He's still playing. I'm a little jealous. It's fun. But you know what? He deserved it. He's good.
All right, well, Virtus.Pro, they win the pistol. 4 AK-47s out and a MAC-10 onto Snatchy. I haven't even spoken about Snatchy yet. One of my favorite snipers to watch at the moment. Speaking of Ents and Nuke, Alu's certainly one of those as well. Definitely bigging him up last weekend. Very good to watch, especially on the CT side. But Snatchy is quite a talented man, although not really carrying his main weapon at the moment. Virtus.Pro starting slow, looking to maybe identify what kind of shenanigans or formation Faze may be up to / have at the beginning of this round. Quietly moving towards a wall of smoke now. Will they be committed behind it, though? I'm not necessarily convinced. There is the first one looking for a response. I like the pace from Virtus.Pro because it suggests to me that they are organized. They're prepared.
I think that's something we have seen definitely throughout their play with the new lineup. And that's been really, really awesome, honestly, because you know, you have to be a tactical team these days. And that's hopefully something that we'll see from Faze with Neo added on as the IGL. That would be really awesome. And Olofmeister's defending the ramp pretty well here. He's got not only a kill, but he's able to smoke it off. And with only 25 seconds left, he's gonna push the smoke. He knows that there's no chance that they're going to be holding that smoke. This is a really smart move. Olofmeister needs to move quickly, but he won't move quickly enough. He does pick up the AK. I think he was just spotted. Able to deal with Ocolicious, and there's 3 more players to go, and he could try to focus on just getting more kills, because... Okay, I mean, actually, speaking of which, they did go for the full force buy, so... Just have the Kevlar that you can save with the CZ, so you could drop the CZ next round to a teammate. This is not a bad look.
Not bad at all. And it's, as James pointed out, the pacing by VP and taking it slow. Right now, a lot of teams are force buying on the second round on CT because how the money system is. It's viable to do that, especially a map like Nuke. You got a lot of nooks and crannies. You can get Deagle armor, CZ armor, and just hold an angle. It's a VP knowing this. They have to go slow. They have to check angles. And, you want to minimize the deaths on these kind of rounds. Even though you win, you still want to minimize.
And Olofmeister could, if he wanted to, drop a couple P250s as well. You know, he has, $600 more than his teammates on average, so he could even it up with 2 P250s.
Yeah, it's good.
And we'll have Neo buying one. I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it can make the difference on utility in the next round. And it's just Neo that spends any money, really, it seems. Oh, we're going to get a taser from Guardian, which is cool to see. We don't see enough tasers, actually. I wonder if there'll be a world where they'll ever be gimmicky. Oh, there's a big gap in that smoke. Okay, that's not a good start.
That's really bad.
That is not a good start.
They have no more smokes left. They can't even drop a right-click smoke to cover this. Maybe he's a flashbang, guys. He's got 5 flashes.
He just walked into the angle by himself and no one's there to even trade.
That's not a position where you'd even want to trade, really. It would be suicidal to go into such a small gap. You don't really know the location. So finally, the rifle has been taken away. They can't really guarantee that they can hold it there. Oh my god, Nico. That is disgusting. I didn't even hear a dink.
How does that work? I guess he must have taken some damage with a Nico shot. That's so strange.
Man, someone's going to get roasted for messing up that smoke grenade. But I think they still haven't used a single flash. Even to get past the position. But this is a very weird situation now for Virtus.Pro. Against 3 pistols. If Snacks can make it up the ladder, he would be in a favourable position, unbeknownst to him. He'll probably assume that there's likely to be somebody up there. So it's so strong to have high ground in general. Moving towards the B bomb site with his teammate trailing behind him. So they're pretty separated. Veggie with 8 HP. With so little time on the clock, how are you going to secure a bomb plant? Okay, so he has found himself a smoke grenade. Rain's collected the AK-47, as you can see. Quietly does it. You can see there's one guy moving towards the double doors. Oh no, he's been taken out. There is such an important trade. But now, how does he get out of the smoke afterwards? This is a brutal situation. There's no Kevlar on these players. He's dropping the fadeaway flashbang, but through the smoke, Guardian. That was... I mean, that's a colossal error from Virtus.Pro. The gap in the smoke outside, no more smokes to cover it, no flashes over the top to at least force them off the angle. And here we are with the first round for Faze.
So I could see that the gap being a big, huge misstep, but then after that, there's even more mistakes. Like, okay, you know Faze 4-spot last round, only Olaf has a gun, so that means the spacing, there's no flashing, as you said, there's no F being over that wall, the timing of everything was just so off by VP. It's almost like they're walking on eggshells the entire time. Instead of flashing, let's peek together, exchange kills, timing. That was not there at all. Especially on an eco round, you want to be swinging.
Maybe that's the sign of one of mine's upper rush coming in. Rain will eliminate the first player in, and they're not making any ground here, Virtus.Pro. They're getting absolutely trounced as they move into this bomb site and Snatchies in 1v5. And so I was going to say, you know, maybe it's a mixture of inexperience and just bad communication in the previous round when it comes to Oculicious making that peak. You could make an argument that's okay when you lose that first player because it's still a situation you can salvage. But then to give another 1v1 against a rifle is a very questionable decision. And I feel as though the rest of their team was not on the same page there. Yeah. So it could be a mixture of being an experienced newer player or bad communication or both.
They had 5 flashbangs, man.
Yeah.
At least.
There are a lot of different ways to handle that situation, and it went in the worst way possible. And this upper rush, it's the upper rushes on Nuke have to be coordinated really, really well. And
you have to have one person kind of hopping up in the ladder and T-spawn, and you could toss Molotovs and FBs on the run that pops over squeaky door. And so you really need the person to be doing that to really just eliminate pretty much 2 spots, one on top of hut for Molotov, and a person that's trying to peek the squeaky door. If you have that pop flash there in the ceiling, they have to fall back. They have to respect it, and it's not instantly killing people like what Faze did to VP.
So we do have a half buy here, but I quickly wanted to reference that I really thought it was very cool watching ENCE because they have a way to sort of make sure that the CTs don't know what they're doing, but do sort of an upper rush out of a default where they get maybe like 3 players through the squeaky door. And I've seen them take teams off guard with that because you don't kind of expect it in the middle of a round, especially. That's because usually CTs have the information outside, so you always have an idea of what's going on. But hold that thought for a moment. It seems like there will be a kill at least for VP, but I don't know that they'll get much more here. Olafmeister is holding the hazmat room down. All right, the PT-50 is doing more damage.
Wonder if the bomb was spotted there. By the way, it has been collected. 45 seconds. Again, this is an eco round for Virtus.Pro, so they've done a great level of damage so far. That's the bomb spotted once more. That's a lot of information for Faze at this point. Beautiful shot from Snatchy. And there's enough time to find the other two players. Now, the areas he could be in widen with the doors being opened. He'll need a plant attempt soon. Oh boy, just down to Neo now. Could this be sweet revenge? Going for a wide open plant. Neo's going to peek him though. Some bursting, no bonus money for Virtus.Pro, but the sheer level of the damage they did, that is very expensive. That's like $30,000 of damage onto Faze. And Virtus.Pro likely to eco, unless they choose to take a gamble. But they all make themselves further away from a full buy if they do, so.
So that's actually a really interesting point because Virtus.Pro bought up very specifically, but the condition was that they got a bomb plant. Because if you add $800 to what they started with this round, it actually is a completely, it's just fine for a full buy. But they didn't get that that bomb plant, unfortunately. Nice outside setup though from Faze. These two-men setup when these four positions can be very troublesome to deal with. Okay, well that spray's missed the mark for Nico. Now Rain has to make up for it.
Good start. Silence. Mihu's got a flashbang. He is by the squeaky door, so we're not going to see any god flashbang really. It's going to be a simple cleanup for Neo against some of his old teammates. Snatchy left outside with this rifle, trying to squeeze the lemon as much as possible. Not too much juice though. 2 frags for Virtus.Pro, and we move into the next spy round. Now we might see Snatchy on an AWP. T-side AWP though, not going to be easy. But he is one of the men who could pull it off if there is a way to do it. So this is really, I would say, the first full buy we have seen from Virtus.Pro on their T-side so far in round 7.
It's a lot of rounds to be playing without a really full buy, other than the eco round and the eco kind of threw away. But as you said, Snatch with the AWP. You see VP, they've been tossing outside smokes a lot, trying to condition Faze to waste utility, have our eyes out here. Look at us. We're taking outside every single round against you. Hopefully Snatch is able to work something here. He's pretty much by himself. Actually, his teammate's coming right behind.
They won't know if the other side of T-Red is clean just yet. I don't think anyone's on the silo, and there's Guardian to run distraction and more from that secret position. Great support with the Molotov. Looking comfortable for Faze at the moment, but Nico's caught with a grenade in his hands. So maybe there's a chance for Virtus.Pro.
Snack's making his way towards heaven and hell as his teammates are still hanging out around outside. So there's a minute left, still not too much for VP to do insofar as bursting through choke points onto a bomb site just yet, but they're still in the setup mode. And oh, hello. Oh, that's very awkward. 12 HP left for Snags. It's not really a fight that he can take anymore. Try to be sneaky, try to harass, try to keep himself alive, keep the threat, keep the presence around heaven there for the CTs to worry about, but as far as taking fights, that's not going to go too well. That said, Okalicious finds Rain, and now they'll start to creep, try to coordinate this split attack onto the upper bomb site. Neo being toyed with. Oh, that's beautiful peeking there to bait out a lot of bullets for Neo. Now Olafmeister's up the stairs. He's keeping control of things. Guardian back in action. The AWP looking pretty good. Mihu under a lot of pressure here in this 1 versus 2. He's not got much time either. Has to get a kill. And it's Guardian that'll get it. And Faze pick up another round. 5 in a row for them.
So I wish Snatchy and VP would have taken outside without tossing so many smokes, because what that kind of does, it hands the CTs, hey, there's a lot of smokes out here, but the reason why I didn't like it is because Snatchy, he's opping pretty much by himself. His teammates way behind him, so all those smokes tells the CTs they all look at one area, while Snatchy has to look at the whole outside to find the CT. So he's a huge disadvantage if he's by himself. And they know that there's probably people out there with all the smokes. It's like an angle thing.
This is back to an earlier buy we saw from Virtus.Pro when they had some success. Feels a while ago now, where they had the 4 AKs and Snatchy on the Mac 10. So back here's with the SMG. So let's see, they're waiting out the initial grenades from FaZe Clan, starting to line up. Their grenades outside. We haven't seen the main smoke from them just yet. Bouncing off the wall, trying to wrap, or at least I haven't noticed one. See if that comes later on. That's all their smokes deployed, save for the one that Snax is holding. Guardian with a lovely throw to try and delay a push. I think there's a gap between those smokes, but he's holding the main wrap.
I wonder if that molly was to mess up the smoke.
From Guardian?
Yeah.
I think it's to slow it down. This is slow down the rush. But there's been a gap in the smoke, I think, almost every round. First time they've done it.
Very cheeky peek from Olofmeister. Got a 1v1 if he wants it. Spotted one player jump past, but he has to take the conservative angle. He has got some great cover, though, from his teammate, so he might get a cheeky frag and then fall back once again.
Ooh. Almost feels like they didn't expect him to be standing there. And Guardian's going to take down 2. He's been on point so far here today, early on. And back in, Olofmeister goes with the AUG, and he's done fantastic damage. He slowed them down immensely. And now it's up to Mihu, but he's going to be caught in the crossfires. And 6 rounds in a row now for Faze. And yeah, this is a great setup. And Guardian, he's not been missing so far. That is a stunning shot. He looks really on point today. Like, from the first shot from Secret, where he could have taken all the time in the world, but it's like an instant snap, as if he has the time pressure.
That setup was actually devastating. You can see from Olofmeister's position, Snax, he knows what is expected normally. One player jumps past the choke point. You don't stand there as a TT, so he jumps down the ramp with his knife out, not expecting Olofmeister to be there. But the entire two-man setup pretty much breaks the round right there. But the way he threw the smoke as well, I thought, did he throw that smoke too far? But it actually separates both sides of the ramp, so he can peek in and essentially get a 1 versus 1. Or heighten the likelihood of that, because the other side of the entrance to B is completely smoked off. So that whole sequence was really interesting. Now we've got VP trying to force a bomb plant. It wouldn't give them 4,200 if they were able to plant the bomb. Maybe they can do more than that. They get the first frag in this round.
Good position from Olofmeister, though, to take down 1. And it's actually not too bad if he gets double peeked here. Just can't follow it up. Now he's starting to worry a little bit. Guardian back in the action again. He's been really consistent so far in the early rounds of Nuke. And Rain now bringing presence from behind will certainly make things feel a little bit more cramped here for the T's. But they're doing a great job. And okay, Rain's got everything to do here. Oh man, everyone whipping their shots there for Faze. And VP will pick up an unlikely 3rd round.
So VP setting their whole entire 9 rounds up at this point. They were tossing outside smokes every single round. They were taking it super slow this round. They toss smokes and they rush all the way down lower, catch Faze pretty much off guard in that lower bomb site, and eventually able to overwhelm Faze. But being down 6-3, would you say that's a successful game plan so far? I don't know. I mean, I think they're abusing outside smokes maybe a little too much, not working other sides of the map like squeaky door or something like that. And again, here comes outside smokes.
Gotta be careful too. Great HE damage onto Veggie, and that could have a part to play later on. But yeah, you know, VP only the 1 round outside of the initial pistol rounds, so we'll still have to wait and see if there can be more consistency for them with their approach against Faze. Snatchy will find Rain, so they will sort of hit the pause button after gaining some quick positioning outside, and in doing so, they'll pick up 2 kills for it. And now they start to move things forward a bit. And so far, you know, VP have shown to us that they enjoy kind of the stop-start style in these T rounds, and that is effective. But it's one of those things, like anything, you know, you got to be careful sometimes in whether you're telegraphing a pattern to your pacing.
Good point, Dan.
And that could give Faze some good reads later on.
3 pistols remain for Faze. Make it 2. Olofmeister sees it 75 and the Eagle onto Nico. Love to see Nico over Desert Eagle. Although this time he will not be so successful. Alright then. The score is starting to catch up. Faze have a bye now. Guardian's a little short, but Rain on 7,200 could take an L for him.
Should have put a rival caster on the end of that flamethrower. Is that too much?
Maybe too much. Alright, Neo getting the molly down towards the squeaky door. This is a very familiar execute actually to one that Virtus.Pro used to do, which I'll tell you about later, but look, there's a quick flank. Old Virtus.Pro that is, of course it is Virtus.Pro doing the execute. I have a video about it as things are slowing down. They have a double HE set up that goes towards that main position. I think it was against a French team, and Apex was the victim on that particular occasion. So if you are familiar with my YouTube account, then you can see that execute on there. It was really cool. Maybe it's the same. Obviously, only Snacks remains from that particular lineup now, but maybe they still have the personality of the old team. Time will tell. Snacks creeping on the outside. 4 versus 4 with a minute on the clock for the T's, and they will use their last 2 smokes for the wall of smoke outside.
Guardian's in a really odd spot with his AWP. You saw him earlier peeking in squeaky door, and I think him not spotting allowed him to push.
Wow.
So VP is not going to catch us out at all, and Statue gets picked off.
You're never prepared for that.
Put a wrench in their plans.
Oh man, and Ray's there as well. What a setup. You never expect that. Beacon's going to spot the remaining Blast players as well. He's... Oh, actually, Veggie team kills with the help of Nico Snacks. So there's the 1 versus 3 now for Veggie, but he's not got much time. And this is not... 3 players there, man. Okay, he's definitely not going up there. So I guess he's just going to save what he has. But what a beautiful setup in the squeaky position. A 2-man setup, no less, with an AWP guaranteed that first kill. Because we were talking earlier about understanding how quickly players will move, how important that is as far as, you know, mouse control goes and so on. But when it comes to crosshair placement and pre-aiming and so on and so forth, it's also really important to know how fast you expect the peak to be. If you think that it's going to be walking, you can hold a really tight angle like that, so you kill them immediately. If you expect them to be on a Y peak angle or a running angle, you want to have your crosshair further out. So because of that, they know you're always going to be walking in that spot. You can have a tight position with your crosshair to the angle.
Yeah, it's very smart by Faze, taking over map. Like, VP's been taken outside, so let's take over something else on the map, the inside squeaky door. All about rotation.
Nico very quickly in a position he's not going to be expected, almost getting shot. That spark was pretty close, but not quite. Does he try to fall back to secret? There's a lot of guns holding an angle on him. There's a little smoke though, and he will have managed to get out of there. But he's not going to retreat entirely. Looking from up top, and he's going to go and do some damage at the very least, which Guardian will follow up on. Keeps the man advantage for Faze, but there are players in the B bomb site. Guardian taken out now by Snatchy.
It's a good thing they have Snatchy to battle against Guardian.
When Snatchy's on, he is ridiculous with the AWP. Problem is, he's pretty inconsistent, and, well, you want to be consistent if you have an AWP. But his aim is unbelievable sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Can be very fast. A kind of battle sniper type dynamic. And, you know, once again, Faze looking to ask questions in lobby, which is kind of a cool way to do it, because you can get these unexpected positions, but Mihu has great crosshair placement. Speaking of that previously, it's a 2v3 now. Still doable, considering how much time there is. And Olafmeister's making some steps. That is such a key kill. Snatchy's out the picture. Ooh, that's a close one. Down to 1 HP for Neo in a 1 versus 1. Veggie, though, in front, behind. Oh my god, the dink. Oh, so close.
Smart play by Neo to kind of toss a flash and kind of just wait a little bit, knowing that he might push. Like he might push. A little more HP, maybe could do a little more damage.
He just stopped. It was really weird. He just you fired 2 bullets, got a headshot, but then just stopped moving.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing that here and there. I don't know if
yeah,
that's
he did
his
that
internet.
earlier actually.
I don't know if that's his internet connection or maybe it's just Go TV or a spectator bug. I'm not sure.
Possibly. 7-5. The score is still tight, but Faze are on the arse end of things in terms of the buy. SMG for Neo, Rain and Guardian with pistols. Guardian with a 5.7, so maybe we'll see some action from that later. I think Hiko's still using the 5.7. You know, he was a big 5.7 guy. I think the nerf was a hard pill to swallow, but people are still trying to do what they can. They got that nice new skin, which makes me more inclined to try and make it work as well. Looks like a Pez dispenser to me.
Which skin?
I don't know what it's called.
5.7 skin?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see where that smoke goes.
I think is it that one? Maybe.
I think it was window.
No, I mean the 5.7 skin
Oh.
on Guardian. 1 minute on the clock. Veggie's creeping. Who does this favor? Both players close to the smoke, but he's got too many places to look at. Won't try and retrieve the gun, Rain, and will just hold position instead, and the man advantage. And now you do wonder if this is going to get a little awkward for VP. Creeping around the ramp, but we've got 2 players downstairs for Faze, as you can see on the radar. Guardian and Nico. 35 seconds. There are plenty of smokes, although that won't stop a spray. So time is going to be tight, and the bomb plant's going to be very crucial.
Yeah, the VP already have 5 rounds. They actually are already on for a pretty good T half. And that's beautiful from Nico. Finds one, time of the essence. Bomb needs to go down, but they're running out of players here to cover a bomb plant. Guardian, oh, wow. Okay, that's beautiful. And that's the round. No time to get the bomb for Mihu.
There's too many players alive to creep that slowly. So that's exactly what I feared might happen. You put the smokes down, but smokes are not brick walls.
Not at all. And VP, again, they're going with that slow pace and slowly getting picked off. You see Faze on kind of a poor buy here, but they're able to just still pick apart VP because they're going so slow. Their timing's all off because they're all going so slow. They have to kind of just exchange just a little better and maybe work squeaky door more. I think VP's ignoring that squeaky door, and I think it could complement their outside taking a lot more if they just abuse it just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Out of nowhere, Mihu appears, out of the heavens, to send rain to help. And they have a good opportunity to get into the upper bomb side here, but these smokes are making things awkward, and it seems like it'll benefit Faze more than it will Virtus.Pro.
2 versus 4 for VP. Not the first time we've seen Mihu make that play with some good timing with a flashbang. It's at least the second time he's killed a blind player in that main position. Okalicious moving forward now, as is Guardian. Is Guardian scoped in already? I should hope so, otherwise, yeah, I would concede his position. A good example of that is, if you look at Fallen going into Palace on Mirage, on a T side, he'll always scope early. I think a lot of people at home would scope when they get close to the choke point, which would give your position away. Trying to catch up now, Virtus.Pro. Still time to do this. Guardian getting his bell rung through the door. Nia trying to chase, but Okalicious is ready. And that's the bomb collected. It was outside, so it hasn't been seen by Faze. They may assume that Snacks has got the bomb.
Guardian's ready. He's ready for anything from Snacks. Now Okalicious with only 23 seconds and 7 HP. He's going to run into one of the Faze members here by this U-Haul. Unless he checks the corner, he just runs right by him. Nico hearing the footsteps. Turns around, takes a shot. Faze up 9-5. Virtus.Pro with a good start, but the mid-round kind of transition to what to do next kind of just fell apart.
It's one of those weird situations for me where it looks, I mean, for a T side of Nuke, it's definitely 5 rounds is great, but 2 of those rounds came, you know, from the pistol, and so in reality they only won 3 rounds with buy rounds and so on. So although they'll have an acceptable amount of rounds and feel decently comfortable, it's still a bit of a strange one for me, because I feel like they haven't really had much success. I feel like there's more success on the scoreboard than you could understand from the actual gameplay. Oh, more gaps in the smoke again. Oh my god. Oh no.
I got something to say about that after. Just not as noob as you think. I meant
you might as well say it now, to be honest.
Okay, so they waited on that first smoke because a lot of teams have been Molotoving that spot. So if you toss the 2 smokes right away, it'll get caught in a Molotov. So they toss the far smoke, wait for the Molotov, and then toss the short smoke to kind of counter that Molotov play. But again, fortunately, their smokes are still off, even though they're right next to the throat.
I don't know. Oh, never mind, actually. Okalicious now. Got to switch out for the other gun. And when you start with a sawn-off on the last round, you may not get much further than that, and that is certainly the case here. Faze have 10 rounds at half-time, and speaking of half-time, it is time for us to go to a quick break. When we're back, more Counter-Strike action. Stay tuned. Dan just said to me, the quarter life of caffeine is 12 hours. Dan, you've got 10 seconds to explain yourself.
Thrown on the spot.
Well, the half-life is 5 hours. It just means that caffeine is there. I think, what is it? It suppresses the adenosine, I believe it is, which is Okay, well, that's 10 seconds over. Never mind, can't go any further. So come back to that later.
I kind of knew that would happen. FaZe Clan will blow off the squeaky door now. They're on the T side. Standard stuff. Okalicious good for a first headshot on Olofmeister. And he's got the information as well. No one's down the vent. They're all stuck behind the choke point. What do FaZe do now? Olofmeister can often be the person whose job it is to take a bullet in a pistol round. Trying to spread out on the A bomb side, but not really having too much success. Veggie spots the final 2 targets. There can be a rotation. Now it's down to Neo, 11 HP. Snacks will get a cheap helmet with perfect Kevlar. The rest of the team will spend $1,000. And that is a successful pistol round for Virtus.Pro. 6-2 the 10 of FaZe Clan. What will FaZe choose to do? Nothing spent just yet.
I would like if FaZe sent one more person towards squeaky door on that on T pistol, maybe just to guarantee an exchange kill and cover all your angles. Hey, there's a, you know, be on top hut's a super common spot. Send one extra person just to help out, and then go into the strat. You know, make it 4-4.
Do you have an explanation yet?
What's that? About what?
About the quarter life. What does that? I don't know what it means.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it means it's like for how long it's. So when you ingest a substance, it's going around your body, your bloodstream, and everything like that. It means that it's a quarter of the amount that you consumed. So, like, if you imagine a full cup of coffee, like effectively a quarter of that amount of caffeine still in your system 12 hours after consuming it.
Only a quarter.
Yeah, that's what quarter life means. Half-life obviously being half the amount of the. And so for example, you know, if you have a cup of coffee and you're particularly susceptible to the effects of caffeine, it's probably going to keep you awake. You probably have worse sleep if you have it
That
at like
sounds familiar,
2-3 p.m. So you actually need to have it perhaps a lot earlier than you think, and stop drinking much earlier than you think.
Yeah, some people are susceptible to a much longer lasting time than the average person. And I think I'm one of those people, which is why I struggle to sleep so much. I did just ingest an enormous can of a certain energy drink, the largest one I've ever seen. I'm such a child. I saw a massive one. I was like, I have to consume this. It's huge.
So I have another some more interesting facts which relate to sleep and performance.
10 seconds again.
Things so the frontal cortex is the thing that gets most impacted by poor quality sleep, and that's the kind of thing that's involved in your most of your decision making. So whenever you've had that moment where you did something and then immediately as you do it, you know that you shouldn't be doing it, and then you die like in a game, that's you probably underslept, or you've been gaming too long.
Had some of those nights.
Yeah.
All right, well, 3-round lead for FaZe Clan. They're on the bye. They've got the AKs out, and they've got 3 players down in secret. They have had more successful smoke executes than we saw from Virtus.Pro. More gaps than a Macy's store on the VP's T side. We've got the SMGs out for Veggie and Okalicious still. Mihi trying to pick some good timing. So he has some information, but not much. Rain will take some grenade damage. Mihi opens and closes the doors again. Good manners, raised well. And there's a minute for FaZe to play with.
Olaf's going to be making noise just to keep the CTs on their toes, to maybe take some eyes off of outside, or make BP a little slower there. Oh my goodness, Snatchy!
God damn.
That was a nice double. That makes the round a little easier.
Buy one, get one free. That's, yeah, it makes it really awkward, doesn't it, for FaZe? Because now you just have to get somebody in on an entry frag, and it won't be Olofmeister. Nico creeping around. Wow.
It falls apart.
Yeah, it looked like he had that kill, but you know, actually speaking again of like crosshair placement and tracking aim and all this kind of stuff, when you're playing against players who know how to use the MP9 correctly, it is really scary sometimes, because if you're playing those close positions and you get a well-timed wide swing with an MP9, it's really hard to like track, because the player's moving so quickly. So the adjustments that you have to make with your recoil controls can be actually really difficult sometimes. Which I think was one of the reasons why, you know, back when the Tech 9s were so sick,
drive-by is no problem.
absolutely, yeah, it's very difficult to deal with. Because also with a rifle, at some point they're going to stop moving so they can shoot accurately. But you don't have to do that with an MP9.
No, you don't.
Close range.
Just be like a race car. zoom on by.
The MP9 is so good. It's so good.
It's one of my favorite guns.
It's got to be the best bang for buck gun in the game. Has to be.
Oh, that's beautiful from
Nice.
Snatchy. AWP on the CT side. That's a brazen peek from Guardian. He'll get punished for it. Pistols for Faze for the most part. Nico does manage to rescue the AK-47 around that squeaky position and put it to good work immediately. Taking Okalicious out, so it will be made expensive for Virtus.Pro. Snatchy still holding his angle and delivers his third kill, tagging Rain. Now he's on 8 HP. He's got the AK-47, but for how long? Snatchy still with the AWP. Great hold around that squeaky position. Nice warm-up for him as well as they look to tie the score. Faze have another opportunity to pull away once again now that they are mostly on the buy, but Guardian's only got 34.50 in the bank.
It's a great round by Snatchy. I wish he would have done it on a gun round, though, because it's a pretty good spot, you know, like one and done spot. Now it's going to be hard for him to ever op and mini squeaky door ever again. Faze will probably be on top of that, but so far Virtus.Pro just moving Snatchy around, which is always good for an opper. Make it random, make it hard for the team to guess where you're at.
I have more sleep facts relating to performance if anyone cares later.
I care, Dan.
Yeah.
I care.
Nice.
I appreciate the facts.
We're a fan of facts here. Okay, so the creep here from Olafmeister on the smoke. Sees that no one's pushing it. But can't really take a fight in that position by himself. His Faze really just waiting out a lot of the initial utility. Oh, he actually connected that one into Snacks. Not a bad flick. Guardian and his flicks. It is always really fun to watch Guardians. So he can be so fast. And 50 seconds to go now to get this bomb planted. And now there's 6 smokes up on the map. Nico starts to speed things up towards Secret as his team gathers around the upper positions.
VP doesn't care. You're not going to rotate at all with those smokes. Not being fooled. VP's ready for this Faze squeaky door hit any second now.
The time on the clock. Out go the mollies. Okalicious with a very aggressive angle around the hut position. The bomb's been spotted, and so far so good. Veggie will just about be saved. Guardian get 1 kill, but not really enough damage. Picks up an AK-47. Double peek from Virtus.Pro. They survive with 4 players, 10-10. Look at all the CT rounds won by both sides. That might not bode well for Faze. Of course, they are waiting for Guardian to pick up an AWP. Because of the round lost by timeout when he was alive, he didn't have the money on that particular round. There'll be a timeout for Faze. Of course, Neo is the in-game leader now for Faze Clan. New look Virtus.Pro. It's a journey of discovery. Maybe hard to counter before the game starts with this new roster. They'll have to do it on the fly with the information afforded to them. 5 rounds in a row so far for VP on their CT side. They'll be happy with that. Snatchy looking good. Okalicious is 7 for 15 at the moment, so maybe, well, Snacks isn't doing much better either, but maybe they could pick things up now on the CT side.
That was smart by VP in that last round not to rotate in upper. I see a lot of teams on the CT side, instead of like maybe rotate first from ramp to lower, they rotate to upper to lower, and Faze was in a spot to be ready if they did that. If they were going to rotate from upper to lower, they would be ready to counter.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good here so far for the defense of Virtus.Pro. And that's that round previously attempted by Faze was a very similar round to what I described about what the ends actually execute. Where you kind of play a slower default and then find this really strong timing to hit squeaky door with a rush. And I don't know if it was Faze being too slow or for whatever reason, but they were unable to, as you say, force an argument that's strong enough to convince VP to move out of position. And with that,
I think it's also take in mind that, in my opinion, I think lower is easier to retake than upper, just in the fact that Upper, the choke points like ladder and mini are very small and narrow, and you have to look at a lot of different spots.
Yeah.
Lower is a little bit wider. PT's usually confined in the con or control room, so in my opinion, I think lower is easier to retake. So stack
Very
upper.
fast start for Virtus.Pro. This may be a brief one. 4 versus 2. One of the two players at the very least spotted on the ramp, maybe both now. Snacks with a long spray. There's a trade from Nico. Capable in a 1 versus 3. He's got the time, does not have the position. You can see Veggie playing around the corner of the smoke. Just going past the angle there. Not quite seeing him. 12-10 for Virtus.Pro. They haven't dropped around yet on their CT side.
Yeah, and this is something where you can really see. This is where you're always going to see the most shortcomings with Faze. You know, ignoring Neo coming in at the lineup, it's so new, is the T sides. And the crazy thing is that, again, I feel like ENCE has such a great model of what the good fundamentals for a T side looks like when they're just so polished. And if you could get Faze sort of moving towards that kind of playstyle on their T side, they would be ridiculous. They would be unstoppable, I feel like, just because of the sheer skill on the team. Either way. Oh god, so much damage. Oh my god. They got burned alive.
Oh, he
another
did it
one.
again.
In practically the same position. Another double for Snatchy. And Virtus.Pro, Snatchy's got $16,000. Again, they haven't dropped a single round in this half. And Faze are running out of rounds to lose. Snatchy with some great movement as well, moving beyond the Molotov, avoiding it hitting him. No cues to suggest that somebody is there. Nasty surprise. Now Faze on the buy once again. Can they have any success in this half? Look at how much their loss bonus is stacked. 4 times. That stack thing is really weird, by the way. I don't get why that's a thing.
I don't either. I don't question Valvin.
Oh my God!
Goodness, that's
hilarious.
That's so weird because it wasn't even like in the door.
I understand why he died there, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You okay?
Because
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense because you look at it and it's like, okay, well, I just back away here.
Keep backing.
Okay, well, I keep going.
Apparently I'm still on fire. You can see that the molly is on the other side of the door. He just keeps moving back. It's like, why is he? That's like an anomaly.
It's called maximum molly.
Yeah.
Maximum style. Maximum
Dormammu level Molotovs.
So much fire in this. More fire than.
Virtus.Pro still haven't dropped around just yet. We've got pistols for Faze. Fast play towards the ramp position. Miyu standing his ground for now. Will he get any kills out of this? There's 1, 2. Okay. We got something. Snack's trying to help, but there is an AUG now and a B bomb site for FaZe Clan. The bomb needs to get planted soon. Just to give them that 4,200, but maybe they can do more. 3 versus 3. They might even win this round.
Olofmeister's doing some great damage. 3 kills already with that AUG. It's actually in the back with the Deagle. Damage from Snatchy. Olofmeister's so weak. He's going to just walk into the angle. Oh my god! YP crouching peek. Unbelievable. I can't believe he gets that. And still stays alive. And finally, he's been silenced. It's up to Neo against Snacks. Smoke on the bomb. Doors opened, and it seems easy for Snacks. Oh wow, that's such an important round. That's going to be so crushing for FaZe. I mean, their money's fine, sure, but 15 rounds to VP.
I guess it doesn't matter at this point because of how close the score was at halftime. But look at the round loss bonus. It is stacked at maximum 6 times over. Why is that necessary? It just...
Why so many?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's just they
The
have...
round, they'll be on 3,400.
Yeah, but if they lose, it'll go down to 4.
Oh, no, that's okay, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not okay.
Should go down to... Okay, I mean...
It'll be on 4 for forever.
Oh, I thought you meant something about it was weird. You're saying that it should be different.
Should be
The fact that
as
stacks
much.
is...
Right.
I don't agree with
I
that.
guess you're
Shouldn't
saying.
stack so much. Well, that's a nice little one
Seriously.
line. And he's out. You get 1 and you fall back. Don't overstep your boundaries, okay? Especially if you're talking to someone, they're not interested, just walk away.
When in doubt, reposition.
Reposition, yeah, see, I like that.
When in doubt, do not repeak. Reposition. So something we can go into more detail later on, but for now, VP with the man advantage. He get to close Nuke down against Faze. High flash from Nico. It's trying times for Faze.
Oh. Snack's alive for now. Here comes Nico, though, just about winning that one. There is a potential peek threatening to happen from that heaven area. Miku getting aggressive around that lobby, and he might find the back of Olafmeister. X-Ray, he's in Squeaky. Okay, they're starting to clean things out. They will hear a player moving up on the outside, maybe distracted by the sounds. The A site threatens to be taken. Okalicious playing for information. Takes him out. Now where are the remaining players? We've got Guardian holding an angle, waiting for a peek. Virtus.Pro outside the A bomb site. The Faze aren't quite in either.
Don't expect the orb to be there, and a whiff, but... Ooh! Can he get away?
No.
He can! There's no time, though. It's over. It is over. And... Oh, well, there we go. 16-10, and VP win the first map. I wasn't expecting it.